this living organism is not interested in the continuity in terms of years. So this is functioning from moment to moment. You see, so all these the religious people who are trying to interpret the religious texts in terms of living from moment to moment is a thought-induced state of mind. You see, so the sensory perceptions function from moment to moment. There is no continuity of your physical seeing. There is no continuity of your physical hearing. There is no continuity of your smelling. There is no continuity when you eat something. There is no continuity in the sensory thing called the sense of touch. See, they are all disconnected and disjointed. But the thought, in its interest to maintain itself and to continue without any interruption, demands these experiences all the time. See, that is the only way it can maintain its continuity. So the body functions in a completely different way, and it is not interested in the activity of the thought. The only thought that is necessary for this body is the thought that it has to use for the survival of the living organism. Even if you do not feed this body, it is not concerned about it. So it has a certain resources which you have built up through years of your eating. It falls back and lives on it. When that is finished, it goes. So for a day or two, probably you feel the hunger tantrums. At the same time, you regularly eat. But the body is not really concerned whether you feed the body or not feed the body. So at the same time, it is foolish and perverse not to feed the body, hoping that you will attain some spiritual goals. That's what they do in India. They put the body through all kinds of stresses and strains, torture, because they feel that through this endurance, they will be able to achieve whatever their spiritual goals may be. So you see, there is nothing that you can do to make that happen through any will of yours, through any effort of yours, through any volition of yours. So that is the reason why I always maintain that if this kind of a thing happens, it is not something mysterious. It is the thought falling into its natural rhythm of discontinuous and disconnected function. That's all. That's all that is there. So then thought is in harmony with the sensory perceptions, the activity of the senses. So there is no conflict there. There is no struggle there. There is no pain there. There is a harmonious relationship between the two. Whenever there is a need for thought, that thought is always there to act, you see. So the act that this body is interested in is only the action that is essential for the survival of the living organism. It's not interested in any ideas you have about your religious goals or material goals. It's not at all interested. So there is always, you see, this constant battle between these two things. So the thought is not something mysterious. This is what the culture has put in there, which is, of course, society. They are not different, culture and society. And the society is interested in continuity, in permanence. It is interested in status quo. So it is all the time maintaining that status quo. So that is where the thought is helpful for the society. And it says if you don't act that way, if you don't think that way, you become, antisocial, because all your actions will become, thoughtless, impulsive actions. So it is interested in channeling every thought of yours in that particular direction which maintains the status quo of the society. So that's why there is basically, essentially, and fundamentally a conflict between these two. The culture, which is not yours, which is not mine, but we have adopted that, accepted that, to use it as a means of survival. That's all. So that has a momentum of its own, totally unrelated to it. As long as you use that, so long you are not an individual at all. You can become an individual only when you break away from the totality of that wisdom. So there is no such thing as your mind or my mind. Maybe there is such a thing as the world mind, where all the cumulative knowledge and the experiences thereof is accumulating and passed on from generation to generation. So we have to use that to function in this world sanely and intelligently. If we don't use it, you see, as I was saying the other day, we'll end up in funny form and sing the Looney Tunes and merry melodies. So you don't want to become part of this society, you give up, you see, there. And that's the end of you. And the society is still interested, you see, in fitting every individual into the framework and maintaining its continuity. I don't know the talk. So I don't know if I have made